The United Stand pre-season tour sponsored by Manscaped. Discover the power of 3 with Manscaped's unique trimmers. Get the right tools for the job at manscaped.com. Manscaped, your body will thank you.
So where are we on the sales? Well, I'm going to talk about Maguire in a moment. Fred will 100% leave Manchester United. Not my words, the words of Ollie Murs. Not really. Not my words, the words of Fabrizio Romano. So Fred will 100% leave Manchester United. Where is he going to go? Galatasaray was mentioned, but they apparently are out of the deal now. I think we saw fans talking about this last night. From my point of view, I don't have the details. I'm not the accountant, but I'd rather Fred did not go to Galatasaray and had to look at Fulham or Saudi Arabia, because we will get more money. Fulham are looking at 15 million. Saudi Arabia, you could get 20 million. The Galatasaray deal was down at about 12 million. And this is reflected in what's happened with Icardi. PSG wanted 25 million euros. Then they wanted 22 million euros. And apparently it's down to about 10 million euros. And that's Galatasaray again. So you're not going to get... Galatasaray are very ambitious. Very ambitious. Keep an eye on them in Europe. But they don't have ridiculous money. So Fred's deal with Galatasaray could get resurrected, but we'll get more money if he doesn't go to Turkey and stays to the Premier League, or goes to Saudi Arabia. So Fred's 100% going to leave Manchester United, as per Ollie Murs. As per Fabrizio Romano. That's going to happen. With regards, we're having a good morning this morning. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. 2 watch-alongs this weekend as well. Looking forward to those. Tomorrow lunchtime and then Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Which is interesting, because I'd normally watch the Community Shield, which is shit. So I'm glad that we've got a United game at the same time. Some people would say that's a bad thing, but I'm quite looking forward to United in Dublin at the Aviva. With regards to Donny, so what's happening with Donny van der Beek? Well, I can tell you that Donny van der Beek will leave Manchester United as well. I don't think Fabrizio or Ollie Murs are going to say 100%, but we've got another good source on this one, and it is Brad Pitt. No, it's not. Got a good source from Carrington on this one, and basically Donny's going to go. I was speaking to them, was it 2 weeks ago? When did we play Lyon? Probably every time. I'm lost now. And basically, Donny's really happy at the moment. And we saw it in the interview anyway, but Donny's really happy at the moment. And the reason he's happy is because he's had a bad injury. He's back quicker than he thought. And he's at peace with what's happened. I think he was very unhappy. Even under the Ten Hag at the start of last year, he wasn't happy. So I'm not going to blame this on Solskjaer. He just wasn't happy. And you could see it in his face. He looked drawn. He looked sad, and he's really confident and positive at the moment, because he's accepted it. And look, there's a life lesson here, you know. There's things in my life I've wanted, and then, you know, when you realise it's probably not going to happen, you deal with it. And I think Donny van der Beek has dealt with it, and I think psychologically he's in a good place. You know, the Man United move, the expectation that he'd be a success, the want to be success, weighed heavy, and he's had some bad luck, and there's no doubt about that. But I think he's at that point now. Obviously he's married, and I think he's got kids as well, but he's at a place where he's like, I just want to go and play football. I want to try and win my place back in the Netherlands team that was guaranteed, and since I've been at Man United has disappeared, and he's miles off. He just wants to go and play football, and he will definitely leave Manchester United. It's not about staying and fighting for his place anymore. I don't know how old Donny actually is, but we're going to talk about the Maguire sale in a moment, all sports. But yeah, he's in a good place. He wants to go. He's accepted that, you know, and players like that, he's 26, says Albert, thank you. Players like that, if he goes to Sociedad and has 2 good years, there might be a Premier League move back. There might be a Juventus or a step up there. So, whereas if you stay, you know, you're probably done, aren't you? So Donny will go. I know Fabrizio's not said 100%, but Donny will go because he wants to go, and Ten Hag's happy for him to go. So we should raise somewhere between 30 and 40 million pounds for Fred and Donny, which is crap, really, when you think that we'll have to spend all that on Amrabat, but they do need to move on. And the Ferocious says Donny is done. Interestingly, there's another story coming out. Now, I don't know I don't really know about this one. I think it's called the Footy Insider or the Transfer Insider. I mean, there's a lot of these around, and some of them actually have websites that have more credibility. Some of them are just, chances, of course. It's not been too bad this summer. I've got to say, as transfer windows go, I think it's not been the transfer window I wanted it to be because we should have had Qatar. But in relation to bullshit, we've been really lucky. I think you can grade things on many different levels. Like, if United finish fourth next season, it's not good enough by our standards. But if we had loads of injuries, etc., and Højlund scores 30 goals, it's a good season in a bad season, if you know what I mean. So this transfer window for me is not great. We haven't sold enough. We haven't bought the right players that Ten Hag really wanted. When you look at centre backs and a real superstar striker, I think Højlund would have come in with it. And I'd almost say it for United to try and come out and deny it, because I know this, because obviously I knew about Rasmus Højlund a long time ago. I know for a fact that coming into this summer, Ten Hag's intention was to get Rasmus Højlund and an experienced striker. That is absolute fact. Now, I'd love United or someone to come out and say it's not true, because I know it is true, but obviously it's not going to happen now. So we haven't had the summer that we necessarily should have got if the Glazers had sold. And anybody who doesn't agree with that, I can't really prove it's true or not, because I'm not going to tell you where I heard it from, but it was around the time I heard about Højlund, so it's good stuff. But it's also logical. Like, we've got one striker and an injured one. We've got Rasmus Højlund and we've got Anthony Martial. It's not enough. And Ten Hag's plan was Harry Kane and Rasmus Højlund, effectively. How we was going to do that, well, we would have needed Qatar for a start. And people will talk about financial fair play, but they won't talk on camera about it. I'd love to sit down with any journalist, any representative of Man United, and let them sit on a video with the live chat and say, we'd never have been able to get Højlund and Kane because of financial fair play. And I'll explain how they could do it, and then let's see if they'd say it wasn't possible, because it would be possible. You just need to clear the debt, and you need a rich owner. But you know what? On one level, I don't think that this transfer... The one positive I would say about this transfer window is that the news we've had on it has killed off these various... It's a bit like... What was his name? Is it Indicalia FC? Remember him? Used to be like tweeting out about transfers. I think it still exists, but was really prominent probably 5-6 years ago. We've not really... Not as a United fan base, we've not really been infiltrated by the bullshitters. They've tried it with the sale a little bit, but obviously it's too much of an emotive topic that people will believe that bollocks. And with transfers, we haven't had it. We've not really had these bullshitters talking about shit, because, you talk about the De Ligt deal. There was somebody a few years ago saying De Ligt's definitely going to sign, and obviously it didn't happen. And the reason we haven't had it is because the information's been very good. I think the fact that most of our signings are from Italy, UK press can't infiltrate the Italian press because it's on lockdown. It's like a mafia, like they will give information to people that are respected within the Italian journalism world. Rasmus Højlund, of course, we were very forefronters on that, and that was very early, hotter than the Sun FC. So the transfer window has been pretty good for us, but no, I don't just mean the United stand. I mean the United fan base. We've not really been spun any bullshit. It's been quite clearly Mount at the start, onto Onana, De Gea's going to leave, onto Rasmus Højlund, onto Amrabat, and then the transfer window's basically done. And of course, we wanted Kim Min-jae, we bottled that. Disasi's gone to Chelsea. So it's been quite a mapped out, easy transfer window to follow, apart from the sales, I suppose.